So good morning everyone, I hope your weekend went well. Mine was a little interesting. So as many of you know, I worked this weekend, so any personal readings weren't done. And if you're one of the ones who wanted one and you haven't gotten yours yet, links are in the description below. You send me anything off those wish lists, $35 and under. I give you 2 readings and a birthday reading thrown in just for free. I'm under literally around the same value in terms of money as one of these brick and mortar store types. I have not raised those prices at all, but I'm giving you more for it. So if that's something that you want to do as a gift for yourself or someone else, go for it. If you know someone who might be interested in that kind of thing, send them the links and share this video to them. Tell them how to get here. I'm going to place this aside for right now. I did have a conversation last night with DM Blackwall, who that conversation lasted 3 hours over the phone. It was a literal phone call. We talked about everything under the sun, from painting miniatures and improvements on things I could do for the next batch, which I think these batches are only going to get better and better, to be honest with you, armed with the knowledge I have now. And then on top of that, we discussed all kinds of other topics, and got a good book recommendation out of the deal. So, happy times there for me. I truly enjoyed it. It was definitely reinvigorating, especially after the last couple of days on Twitter have been, let's just say, less than ideal. Some of you may have known I kind of looked at it and went, it's like high school all over again. And I was like, yeah, I'm out. And I did. I took a big step back from Twitter. I took a big step back from social media as a whole. I just didn't interact with anybody really. Only really checked just to see my notifications and follow back some people who followed me. Had some people fall off my follow radar. I never thought I'd see the day when someone who prides themselves, or when people who pride themselves on logic and reason, abandon logic and reason. Even when faced with it, evidently, they still continue to abandon it. It blows my mind. But that leads us into today's reading, does it not? Because I've said this before, and it does bear repeating. And I need all of you watching right now. A lot of this past week has been light on views, very light on views, with the exception of BitChute. BitChute's actually still doing fairly well. It was lighter than most, but doesn't matter. I still have you here, so I need you to listen to me. And it's this: the illusion is crumbling. What illusion am I talking about? The illusion that control needs to come from a centralized authority. And right now, what depressed me, what kind of took it out of me, was I was watching all these people try to prop it up. They're going absolutely insane trying to push it up, trying to prop it up, trying to keep it from falling apart, and it's falling apart at a more rapid rate now than ever. And I want you to be prepared, because what I saw, and this was all over social media, all of it, not just Twitter. Twitter was the biggest part of it, but over the whole of the internet, through the news, through media outlets, we'll just call them that, media outlets, through social media, all of it. What is it I want you to prepare for? I want you to prepare for the destruction of that illusion. Now, what comes on the other side of it is something quite wonderful. That's what I'm seeing. I am of the personal mind that liberty will be restored to this republic one way or the other. But it will take work on our part. We will be faced with certain destructive tendencies between now and then. And on top of that, what we'll end up seeing is we'll end up seeing that a lot of work is going to be not on some centralized authority. It's going to be on us, you and me. But what I really want you to prepare for is the people that you think are friends, the people that are family, to you anyway. I want you to be prepared for the idea that they may not be for long. Because as I've said, once the illusion crumbles in full, there will be people buried under the rubble. Some you can save. Some you can save before that. Others, not so much. And I want to I want to do this quote one more time because I think it's relevant. And I think this quote from Lawrence Fishburne is probably I think it's very appropriate. The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on that system, they will fight to protect it. Can't think of a better quote to cap that thought off. Now, right now, we are it's Moonology Monday, but we're going to do this one quite a bit different than usual. And that's because we are about to enter a new moon. We only have about 3% illumination on our waning crescent at the moment. And pretty soon, we will have to work on what we want to manifest into reality yet again. We do this every month, ladies and gentlemen. Those new moon thoughts and meditations, they're not going to go away. We have a lot going on. A lot. So I pulled out both Moonology decks today. And then, just in case, I did something a little bit different. And you're probably seeing it right about here. I brought a set of runes into the equation. So, we'll be drawing these later. By the way, the bag is made by Kaylee Burkana. Originally this was going to be a dice bag, but I felt it was a little more appropriate to the runes, and its shape is modeled after the Volnut. So, Hrugnir's heart lays on my table. Let's see what's going on. Move these a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start with you. Because we are thinking about manifestations, and you do have a full moon in Gemini here, letting you know to embrace the flow of life. Right now, the flow is very positive. Despite how things look, despite how many people are just losing their minds, the flow for you is going to be very positive. That is something that you need to embrace. It seems a little strange. I'm going to give you that. But I assure you, everything is currently on track. Just the key message here is do what you can. Do everything you can. And don't worry about the rest. Okay? So let's go right here. Just with the Moonology deck alone, I can actually see a lot that's applying to myself directly right now. A lot of it's resonating with me personally. Let's start with your past situation, which was, this one's come up before, it's being reiterated now. Your dreams do need a practical plan. So, right now, if your dream is to write that book, you do need to start making an outline. If your dream is to create something based in history, you need to be doing your research. If your dream is to create artwork that is inspiring and beautiful, you need to have the skills and the abilities, right? There's no other way about that. Also, your present situation, your current action, is that you need to understand that yes, right now you may not have those skills, but if you have the interest and the desire to learn, you're good enough. You're good enough to begin. If you do have the skills and your skills are good enough to put forward, let me put it to you this way. I'm going to give you 4 artists. These are all artists who worked on Dungeons & Dragons and other projects back in the day. They are Jeff Easley, Frank Frazetta, Brahm, and Boris Vallejo. 4 of the most prominent names in all of that artwork. When you look at their art styles, they are very different. They starkly contrast each other, but it's all in style and what skills they developed. They may have all read the same books, they may have all picked up the same types of brushes, they may have all chosen different mediums, watercolor, oil color, enamel, pastels, so on and so forth. But they all were good enough, and now their names are known in just about every tabletop role-playing game circle. Do you see what I'm saying? Just because yours is different doesn't mean it's no good. And if it's not well received, take the feedback that is constructive, just like I did last night, and then move forward with it. Keep practicing. Don't stop. Your day will come. But here's the thing. When I say don't stop learning, don't let pride get in the way. Don't sit there in the belief that you know everything. You probably don't. You're probably missing a very important factor too. This is why I say take the criticism that's constructive. You are moving forward, you're leveling up, you're improving every day. Keep that going, because in our manifestations, oh boy, shit, here we go. Oh man. I'm going to deliver this message. I've been trying to do this all weekend. That's what kind of got me down. That full moon in Aries tells you need to cool your emotions right now. Right now we got everybody up in arms, and they think they have nothing else to learn about a current situation. I'm telling you right now, you do, because you need to calm down. When you take that breath, when you touch grass, when you smoke grass and touch breath, I don't know what it is you do to calm down, but do it. and you got to take a step back, assess that situation, really look at it, and don't look at it for what do I want to see. Look at it for what is this? Because we have two cards that are expressing emotion, and it's so strange because we have practicality, we have pride, we have grounded action here. You do need to look at it. You need to ask yourself, turn off all the sound, turn off the sound of my voice, turn off the sound of everyone's voice, and ask, what is this? And then do research. I find sometimes I have to force myself to do the same thing, but I have to do it. Because if I don't, I'm gonna wander around screeching and screaming about, my little conspiracy theory that I believe all small animals and children were put on this planet to make faces at me, and I'll make it everyone else's problem. And no one's gonna want to listen to that. Get me? Okay. And here's the thing. In assessment of your situation, you are going to have to let your fears absolutely dissolve. You're going to have to let go of them. They are not serving you. Everything you want is on the other side of your fear. Pick your cliche. I have said it dozens of times. And now we're going to look at some runes. We're going to see I know these things aren't going to show up well on camera, but they're a completely random selection, and I've got 3 of them in my hand. And let's see which one comes up first. We have Inguz. Inguz or Ingvaz. It's all about unity. We also have Manas. That forward movement, that forward momentum, indicative of the horse. And then of course we have Kanaz, which leads to our enlightenment. Now, with Inguz or Ingvaz, however you want to pronounce it, it's fine. With Ingvaz, we need to understand we do stand on some pretty common ground. We do. In one way or another. We need to find that common ground. We need to build on it. We also need to move on from this idea that somehow, some way, everyone must agree with us, or they're wrong, and we will do everything we can to get rid of them. Because we do have very enlightening things to share, but only done when it's practical, logical, sane, and it makes sense. And if you're getting those messages rather than giving them, if you're receiving them, you need to be listening. Seen a whole lot of people acting out of fear. As a matter of fact, yesterday we got the question, if someone were to come in to purchase contraceptives, could you turn them away? No. No, we cannot. And even if we were allowed to do so, I would not do it. Business 101, people. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put these here, here, and here. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you can go with the flow, but you're going to need a plan. You'll need to steer your canoe. You need to paddle that thing. Otherwise, you're going to lose control over it, and you're going to go over a waterfall rather than get back to shore. You can do it. You have the skills. You have the talents. You have the abilities. You just need to develop them. Stop letting pride get in your way. You're going to have to let go of the fear that you're not good enough, that you don't know enough. You have to start somewhere. And there are a host of people willing to come in to support you. But you have to cool your jets a little bit. Because if you don't, then it doesn't matter whether you've decided to paddle your own canoe or you've decided to let someone else do it. You have given up your power, and therefore you really will have no say in the situation. You understand? My goal is to give you the messages that empower you. Methods. Yeah, I don't have my words today either. Still more coherent than some people, though. I think we know what we're talking about. But anyway, you need to be self-empowered. You need to have self-control. You need to be able to master yourself. You are not changing the world without that first. Simple as that. Alright. That's really all I got for you. Just remember, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And as always, shine on.